sometimes we're afraid to be seen trying. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sierra, and welcome to my side of the internet where we see what others do not. I quickly just want to get on here, especially as I'm gonna adjust my mic to make sure y'all hear me in this video. Hopefully this isn't TMI, but I'm cramping. I actually feel like shit. But I'm holding my promise to myself to be consistent with my YouTube posting, and something was really heavy on my mind today that I wanted to share with you all, especially for the people that have maybe felt stagnant, whether it was with an idea, whether it's just like where you are in your life. If this video has come across your algorithm, your page, whatever the case may be, this is your sign to try again. I think it is important to have that reminder, and your internet cousin will hold you accountable to say, try again. Wherever you are in your life, I feel like, and however this is resonating with you, again, this could be for your career, this could be financially, this could be emotionally, this could be, you know, in relationships, this could be just with your own self-confidence, it could be a project. Like, I know for me at least, and this is also me talking to myself, like there's a project that I've been working on for almost 6 years now, and there's been a lot of detours and a lot of shifting. And I feel like, you know, being discouraged is not necessarily a bad thing. It's about, because it happens to everyone, you know, and it happens to, I'm sure, the people that we look up to. Like, I don't think, you know, like Beyonce, like there's times where she's always confident in what she's doing, but she continues to push through. And there's a quote, I forgot where I saw it, but it's like, the people that you look up to also have fears, and they also have, you know, hurdles, but they continue to move forward. And I just want to apply this to you. My legal team probably would not advise me to share this with you all, but I feel really called to just be very vulnerable, and hopefully I don't tear up and start crying, because I don't think crying on YouTube is appropriate. But I will say that, you know, it's like really hard. There's a project I've been working on for almost 6 years, and I have poured so much. Oh my God, here come the waterworks. I'm gonna try to get it together, hold on. Some of you may know, or some of you may not know, I have a project that I've been working on for the last 6 years called the Zodiac Games, and it's still active on YouTube. Like, you can still watch like two of the pilots. The first pilot that I dropped in 2020, that was all like a virtual COVID production, which was basically, you know, a meet the cast special, kind of like a proof of concept of like what would happen if you took 12 signs, put them in a house, and see how astrology would play out in real time, right? Like, I think as someone who's like super passionate about astrology, but I'm also a creative executive, I'm a producer, I'm a marketer, like I understand how to tell a good story. And I felt like, as someone who studies astrology, and this is something so ancient, and you know, a lot of my peers would, especially in college, because the project actually started as my college thesis, it would be like, oh, well, y'all always asking me, well, how does astrology work? And this is this. And it's like, if y'all just saw how this would play out in real time, that would answer a lot of y'all's questions. That was really the core inspiration of the Zodiac Games. And we went viral back in 2021, and I couldn't sustain it. I wasn't prepared. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I was happy that we went viral. And then after we went viral, I was like, okay, now what? Like, people were invested, they wanted to see more. And it was just me at that point. I was still in school. Like, I didn't have a budget. I had tried to shop the project, and it didn't work. Like, you know, the networks had turned it down. They weren't interested in it at the time. And which was a blessing in disguise, which is why I say, okay, like, try again. Then last year, after I left my record label job, I decided, as you guys know a little bit, if you guys saw my TikTok video when I talked to you guys about Vimeo OTT and how I created my own like network and things like that, we used the Zodiac Games as a case study of like, okay, well, let's do a real in-person production this time. You know, like last time it was all virtual, it was on Zoom. And this time, why don't we just do something that is like in person? Let's see the personalities. We did a whole live audition. Shout out to Partiful, because they sponsored the auditions. I think we had over like 100 RSVPs. We had people show up. We edited it. It was like a whole rollout. Like, it was a very exciting project, and I was really proud of myself that we self-produced all of it. We were kind of acting literally like our own studio, and it was just me and my business partner at the time. And yeah, and don't get me wrong though, because we had a really strong creative support system. So shout out to Jack and Josh, Harrison, Lonnie, Anna, Dara, Jessica, the Bookstore Gallery for allowing us to use their space to hold auditions. Like, people really showed up for us. We had literally no budget, like zero. And when we dropped the episode, again, it was well received. People were like, this is so dope. What's next? And it was brought to my attention during that time that there was infringing show, aka someone took the concept, watered it down. It was just like really nasty, really, it was just like a bunch of fighting. They basically took a bunch of signs, put them in a house, and they're just fighting all the time. I realized that, you know, these people that weren't even operating through intention, like weren't even really operating or creating with as much intentionality as we were making so much money, like so much money. Like the production value was constantly getting better. Like there was actual market confusion, you know, like there were people on TikTok when we were talking about our show, they were getting confused, like, oh, I think I saw this. And it was like, no, girl, you didn't. And even just like with the legal process, y'all know, like attorneys are not cheap. Here's someone who came with the initial idea. Sorry, I have to get myself together again because I'm getting like really vulnerable. And again, like it's my cycle hormones going. I'm like, it's a lot going on. So just bear with me. And I say all this to say, it's okay to try again. And I say this to myself. I say this to y'all. It's okay. Sorry, let me get myself together. Sorry guys, I had to get myself together. I don't really talk, like obviously, like what I like to do is I like to transmute a lot of my experiences, identify the lesson. Again, that's just the Virgo in me, and then share those things so you guys can be empowered. But obviously this is something that's very emotional for me because I think all of my projects I'm just super emotionally attached to because I hope that people resonate with the intentionality of why I do what I do and like they receive the message that I want to share. And most times I just want people to understand like their true value and their true worth. It's gonna be real. Like it sucks to be in a position where you're discouraged, where you see someone that not only has stolen something so sacred to you, but has been making money off of it when you're trying to figure out how to pay your rent next month. You know, like it's real life. But I want you to know it's okay to try again. I took what I learned from the 2020 production and we applied it to the 23 production. I said, okay, well, we were just doing everything virtual. It might be easier to take, okay, what did we learn from the first production? Okay, like we knew that like the 2020 production, we had a team of 5 all across the country, editing, different time zones, trying to figure out how we were gonna do it. Then it was like, okay, fast forward to 2023, we should just localize it. Let's have all of our resources here. Let's do live auditions, let people feel comfortable, let people feel safe, let people show themselves. And instead of us deciding, why don't we actually make this like a community building and make this really interactive? It became an interactive television episode because instead of us choosing the final cast, we allowed the public to decide what they wanted and who they wanted to represent their zodiac sign in the show. And as I'm just kind of in a space right now, as I'm just reflecting and I'm in my, let's try again, you know, third time's the charm. And this time it's like, okay, not saying that I have to do this right, like I didn't do this right with the utmost effort in the last time. But I think sometimes when we feel super discouraged or we feel like, you know, oh, like we don't know how things are gonna work out, it just is discouraging because we don't really know. And I feel like as humans sometimes, at least with me, especially as a Virgo, I like to know. Like I already have super bad anxiety. I don't want to guess. Like I shouldn't be guessing at this point. You know what I mean? Like if I can be as certain as possible, that is going to give me the security that I need. But sometimes life is uncertain. And sometimes you don't know what the blessing is on the other side. I say this to say, if you're seeing this, take this as a sign that it is okay to try again. Even if it's uncomfortable. Like I'm forcing myself after I edit this video and after I post this on YouTube, I'm gonna going back to my treatment that I wrote in 2020, looking at what I learned from my 2023 production and like really being like, okay, like what did I learn in all these experiences? What are the things that I wanna take in this new iteration of the concept? What are the ways in which we can expand upon this concept in this way that wasn't available to us before? And how do we continue to push forward? And I think that's what I really just want to get off in this video. But I do want someone, even if it's just one person, to see that not only am I a real person, like I'm not just like somebody on your screen, even though I am on your screen right now. If you're any person, it could be cooking, again, it could be a relationship, it could be a project, it could be literally anything that you feel called that maybe I should revisit that, or maybe I should rethink about that, or maybe I should reevaluate how I'm looking at this. It's okay to try again. I've talked to a lot of my peers about this too that are creative. Like sometimes we're afraid to be seen trying. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's like, oh, like I want to fail in silence, or like I want to fail in the shadows, like because I know people are watching and I don't want to embarrass myself. And for me, it's like there's been times, multiple times, I've been seen trying in public. Sometimes it's been successful and sometimes I fucked up and sometimes I made a mistake and sometimes it didn't work out the way that I maybe have initially planned or thought it was going to work out. But guess what? I got up and I tried again. You know, and I think like I don't want any of you who have not only are seeing this video, but especially those that have decided to join me on my side of the internet and become a subscriber or follower or anything like that, to ever embrace the spirit of defeat. We don't do that over here. we may, you know, we may have a little moment, you know, we may, just like how I was getting really emotional, and I had to get myself together so I could finish this video. Like, we will never accept the spirit of defeat because we will always prevail. And I want this to act as, again, a message and confirmation for you that whatever that is that you've been feeling like, maybe I should revisit that, or, oh, like, well, I don't know how I'm going to figure it out. It's not, you don't have to have it all figured out right now. You don't. I know you think that you need to have it all figured out right now, but you literally don't. I feel like as humans, if we had it all figured out from the jump, life wouldn't be fun. It wouldn't be meant for us to experience things. And although like my agencies, we're all about experiences, experiential marketing, like life is about experiences. This is about the actual feeling. How does something make you feel? That's why entertainment is so special and so sacred and so important, because it's one of those mediums that is not only so magical of like taking something that's intangible and making that tangible for other people to consume it, but most importantly, it's something that you've created that makes people feel something. And I think right now in a world where like people are so like numb to shit, like there's just so much in the world happening, I feel like this is the perfect time to give yourself grace. You don't have to have it all figured out is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to have it all figured out, but what you should have figured out is what is that thing that you're gonna try again. Leave that in the comment of like, what is that thing that you're gonna even just revisit? You don't have to even do it in the same way that you may have done it before. Maybe that was the lesson. Maybe that's why it didn't work out, because maybe the concept was there, but maybe the execution should have been different. You know, maybe it was the people that were involved. Maybe it's the person, you know, maybe you had to go experience things. You know how you hear stories sometimes about like, maybe not even projects, I'll apply it in another way. Like, it's like learning how to cook like one of your favorite dishes. The first time you may fuck up, you know, maybe you put too much salt, or maybe you put too much sauce, or maybe it's too liquidy, you know, or whatever the case may be. It's like, okay, fuck, like it's not the best, but I'm gonna try again and do it different this time. And then you start to perfect it, and you start to perfect your craft that way. And let's see where we can pick up off of, you know what I mean? And I think that's just really what I want to say. So if you're seeing this, like this is just like my internet hug and nudge to you to try again. There's nothing wrong with trying again. And honestly, you just never know what's going to happen. So that's it. I don't have any, you know, ask or anything like that. I just want you to know that like, if you have ever been discouraged or ever just dealt with bullshit that has intentionally tried to take you away from trying something new, that is your sign that you actually should be trying again with that thing. Okay? Your internet cousin loves you. I will see you in the next video. Bye.